country's most expensive homes. The actor shared his excitement, expressed her mixed feelings about sharing the news, saying 800 million mansion. She recorded many videos to post, but every time she hesitated, thinking that, God did this. But she finally made a video just before leaving Nigeria for Houston, and the highlights was seeing the most beautiful Aliyah's surprise. This is truly a blessing from God, she says. She wrote, "Fans, this is another gift from God. My dear Okiki Afolayin, God chose you for me and I will forever give God the glory." The couple's announcement has garnered an outpouring of congratulations from colleagues, fans, with notable Nollywood figures such as M.O. Bimbo Oshin, Olua Shindara, and Funke Akindele among those extending their well wishes. Let's take a look at this lovely mansion. Congrats to Okiki Afolayin and his wife. Oh my goodness, the mansion is so beautiful. You guys saw that video, right? Like, I can't really, and it's white. I can't explain. It's so beautiful and huge as well. Like, seeing the inside and all. Oh my God, just looking at the pictures and the videos that have been on their feed has just been wow. Like, God does things, oh wow, like, just beautiful. That's the word for it. There's no other word for it that beautiful. We know Okiki Afolayin is an amazing film director. We know that we know him for his movies Yankee Boys. We know him for his movie Iku Alaji. So, like, this is a big one for them. Like, yes, we are mansion owners. Maybe one day me and you will be saying we are mansion owners. What do you think? But congrats to them, big congrats to them. Honestly, big congrats to them. The home is beautiful, and may this beautiful home be blessed. Yes, so fine. Yeah, in the international scene, although this news is quite sad, if I'm very sad, honestly. The renowned American singer and producer Frankie Beverly passes away. Frankie Beverly, the acclaimed American singer and producer, has passed away at the age of 77. The R&B legend died on Tuesday, and his family shared the news through the official Instagram account of Frankie Beverly and Mays on Wednesday. In the announcement, the family expressed their grief, stating that grieving the loss of a loved one is a deep and emotional experience. Feelings of sorrow, reflection, and remembrance. They ask for privacy and understanding, and allowing them the space to grieve in their own way. The period is one of healing, and your respect for their need for solitude is appreciated as they honor the memory of their beloved Howard Stanley Beverly, known to the world as Frankie Beverly. Frankie Beverly gained widespread recognition for his contributions to soul and funk music with his band Maze, which he founded in 1970. Wow, another great one has left us. It's really sad. It's really sad. We really miss the soul and funk music he really gives with his band Maze. I would miss it. Would miss it a whole lot. And It's just really sad. It's just really sad when we see news like this. But we one of the things we can do at this time is just remember the wonderful things that like they've accomplished in their lifetime, and we can just go back and stream some of his songs. Before I let you go, before I let go, and like it's amazing songs, and just like let's remember the great things he has done while he lived, and also that's really sad news. And we just hope that the Lord comforts his family. We just hope that they will be fine. Do you understand? Because it's not easy to lose a loved one. It's never easy. Yeah. In other news, I think with this sad news, I need to say something so that you guys can really come back to the entertaining mood that we are in. Yes, we're talking about the MTV Awards. Swift makes MTV history while Katy Perry sparkles. Katy Perry and Chappell Roan proved their pop star credentials at the 2024 MTV Video Music Awards, while Taylor Swift became the most awarded artist in the ceremony's history. Perry picked up the Video Vanguard Award, MTV's equivalent of a Lifetime Achievement Prize, after performing a career-spanning medley, including hits such as Roar, Dark Horse, and Firework. Roan, who was playing to audiences of 200 people this time last year, claimed the Best New Artist Award, dedicating her prize to all the drag queens who inspired her. Taylor Swift stole the spotlight by securing 7 awards, including the Artist of the Year and the Video of the Year. With these wins, Swift has now amassed 30 MTV trophies, surpassing Beyonce as the most awarded artist in history of VMAs. Beyonce, who has won 27 Moonman Awards, including 2 with Destiny's Child, was notably absent from this year's ceremony, as she also missed out on the Country Music Awards nomination. In her acceptance speech, Swift said that she urged fans to vote in the upcoming U.S. presidential election, a day after endorsing Democratic candidate Kamala Harris. She also expressed gratitude to her boyfriend Travis Kelce, who supported her while she directed her award-winning video for Fortnite. This marks the 3rd consecutive year that Swift has won Video of the Year, having previously won in 2023 for Anti-Hero and in 2020 for All Too Well, the 10-minute version. The awards were presented at New York City's UBS Arena, 40 years after the inaugural MTV Awards at Radio City Music Hall. The ceremony featured performances from rock legend Lenny Kravitz, singer-songwriter Shawn Mendes, K-pop sensation Lisa, and rapper icon Eminem, amongst others. So yes, we saw that the MTV Awards were given out to amazing people that obviously deserved it. Yes, and the ones that stood out the most has to be like Taylor Swift, because this lady has bagged like 30 awards now. Oh my goodness. And apparently Beyonce used to be the holder of the most awards. Like she had like 27 awards if you count the one with Destiny Child and all. So now it's Taylor Swift doing it. Yes, you are saying Taylor Swift, she's making history, guys. She's making histories. And it's always this like video of the year. Have you watched the video for that Fortnite? Oh my goodness. Like there's just a lot of talent in that lady, a lot of talent. Like no, that video is mind-blowing, and it really deserves the award. It really deserves the award that it's given. And it's so wonderful to see things like that, like people making history and all. It's nice. And big congrats to Katy Perry and to Roan as well, who is just upcoming and winning the Best New Artist of the Year. Nice. That's really nice. That's really nice. I don't even know why people are still well, she's Beyonce. She's Beyonce, and we know her. She's like just the best. So obviously there'll be a lot of attention to her. I don't know why people are just dragging her on this again. First it was the Country Music Award. Now with this, please, 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 you guys should leave this lady. Like, she has won a lot of things. She's a legend. She's a great person. We call her the queen of pop, you guys. Like, so please, 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 just allow her to breathe. Allow her to breathe. I know you guys should be happy that she's leaving room for, people that to come in. You understand? It's a good thing to see fresh people win awards as well. You understand? It's beautiful. Yeah. And there's this news I need to share with you guys. I don't know what's going on with Shin Diddy, but Diddy's being sued by a new accuser, Don Richard, which she claims that he has sexual abuse and physical abuse. Music mogul Diddy is confronting another legal battle as the former bandmate Don Richard has filed a lawsuit accusing him of sexual and physical abuse. The complaint was obtained by TMZ, and details Richard's claims that she was belittled, terrorized, and sexually abused by Diddy, while also witnessing him violently assault his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. According to the lawsuit, Richard, a participant of Diddy's 2004 MTV show, Making the Band, alleges that the Bad Boy CEO manipulated her with promises of advancing her music career in exchange for acquiescing to his alleged abusive demands. The court documents describe how Diddy demeaned the female contestants, including calling them fat, ugly, bitches, and hoes. Wow. And showed particularly hostility toward Richard due to her youthful enthusiasm. Wow. Richard also claims that in 2005, she saw Diddy's former ex-girlfriend, Kim Porter, living in a music studio with visible injuries, while led to believe like Diddy was capable of being of serious violence. The lawsuit further alleges that in 2006, Richard witnessed Diddy aggressively pursuing Cassie upon their introduction, and in 2009 saw him assaulting Cassie at his Los Angeles home while under the influence of drugs. In response, Diddy's attorney Erica Wolf has expressed shock and disappointment over the lawsuit. Wolf contends that Richard's claims are fabricated and timed to coincide with her album release and promotional tour. She agrees that if Miss Richard had such negative experiences with Making the Band and Danity Kane, she wouldn't have continued working with Mr. Combs for dirty money, nor would she have participated in 2020 Making the Band reboot or featured on the Love album last year. It is unfortunate that Miss Richard has chosen to exploit their 20-year friendship for financial gain. Mr. Combs stands firmly on the truth and looks forward to defending himself in court. So we are seeing this. Don Richard is coming out to say that she feels like Shin Diddy is a sexually abusive person and he's prone to violence and all. And these claims are very, very, very serious. Like, and even taking him to court and all, like suing him, is a very serious allegation. But we see Shin Diddy's lawyer, Erica, telling us that all these are lies. They are lies, that she's just trying to look for a way to promote her upcoming album and tour, that she's just trying to show herself in the limelight. That if this was true, that why would she have continued working with Shin? And also we don't know like how true these allegations are. I guess that when the court decides, we'll know. But this is a serious allegation, and as much as the things that Erica Diddy's lawyer said they seem valid. At the same time, this is sexual. This is something, it's sexual abuse we are talking about. So it's not something we can what's the name, ignore. It's not something we can ignore. So who knows, who knows. I really hope that's not the case. I really hope that Shindidi is not doing this, because that doesn't, that won't look nice on him at all, like on his image and all. No, we don't want this. Yeah. So we'll see it at the end of the day. The truth will come out now. We'll see. We'll know if it is true or not. And that's all I have for the news for today. It's so sad that we lost two people. We lost Nasty Black's mom. We lost the wonderful singer Frankie Beverly, and it's so sad. But at the same time, we heard about Katy Perry winning the MTV Awards. Congrats. We also learned about Taylor Swift making history, as it should be, which is also nice. So congrats to her as well. So please, whatever your opinion is on this news I've shared, or if there's something you feel like I left out that is very, very important, just put it in the comment section. I'll be sure to read it. So I want to hear from you. Please let me know. So I'll be going on a break now, but trust me, I still have something amazing left for you. There's still someone I want you guys to meet. So do well to stay tuned and don't finish the popcorn. Yes, there's still more entertainment coming to your screen. Yeah. I'll see you later. Yes, you're still on to E-Vibes, the entertainment show on Signature TV. I hope you didn't miss me too much. And please, this popcorn, I hope you still have it. You still have it, it's still there because this I'm about to I'm about to give you guys another, yes. I have a wonderful guest with me in the studio today, and his name is Kingsley Aneke. You can call him DJ Grand Fingers. Yes, he's a legend when it comes to this DJ business, and he's going to tell us a bit about it and let us learn. So yes, my wonderful guest, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're looking very nice, and I love the dreads.
Thank you.
It's fine. It's fine. So yes, please, can you just tell us a bit about yourself and your journey into DJing?
Well, if I have to start opening the book, I think it will exceed our time here. So I'm going to keep it short and simple.
No problem.
Well, I'm DJ Grand Fingers. I go by the name DJ Grand Fingers. My real name is Kingsley Aneke. I'm from Amokwe Udi. The National Publicity Secretary of DJs Association of Nigeria, DJAN. And what else do you want to know? I've been in the industry for about 30 years, 3 decades.
Wow.
Professionally.
Wow. So can you tell us a bit about those 3 decades? I know that it's long, but still, like, give us a summary. We want to know what it was like for you.
Well, it's been with ups and downs. So the ability to manage the ups and downs depends on how strong you are, how willing you are to pursue the career as a DJ. So I had to stay and manage my ups and downs. And that's what brought me to where I am today. Yeah.
So what made you go into DJing? Because now you've spent like good 30 years of your life doing this. So what made you feel like this is what I want to do?
I don't know how to say this, but it's something I've been interested in for a very long time. You know, when you watch Nollywood and there's this epic part that brings out someone that the gods have called, that you're supposed to come and take care of the oracle in your village, and and the person has tried all things not to go there, and all odds were deprived, you understand? So he has to go and serve the oracle. I'm not saying it literally, I'm not serving any oracle, but I'm giving an instance, an illustration. It's something that I've been interested in from my childhood, and it never went out of me. It's more like a calling, Even when we were in school, I schooled at Federal Government College, ENUGU, and we used to have our variety nights. Most of other students will go on the dance floor, start dancing, while I will be with the DJ, wondering what is this guy doing to keep everybody on the dance floor happy. I want to be the master of ceremony. I want to be the person that will tell people, raise up your hand, and you raise up your hand. Even the governor can be there and I'll tell you, raise up your hand. You understand? You're the master of ceremony at that particular moment. So that actually interested me, and I went into it.
What would you say were some of your early influences, like people now?
Okay, you mean people I look up to in the...
Yeah, in the industry that influenced your journey in DJing?
Most of them were foreign. They were not in Nigeria, like Funk Master Flex. But if I call Nigeria, Jimmy Jats, DJ Jimmy Jats actually really influenced me. You understand? Alongside every other DJ, Funky J from Lagos, Humility, we were all watching everybody grow together and, learning from every other person. So it's really an interesting journey.
Interesting journey.
Yeah.
That's nice. What would you say are the differences between the old school DJing and the DJing of now? Because you said you've been on this journey for like 30 years now. Every time I say that, it's still blowing my mind. Like for you to choose something and say I'm sticking with this for 30 years, it's a lot. So can you tell us that's like how has it been, like old school and now the new school? What would you say is the difference as someone that has seen both sides?
Yeah. How will I start now? It's more like a transformation from one particular, how would I put it? One particular generation to the other. It's more like a transformation in the entertainment industry. Like,
Entirely.
yeah. Let me give an instance now. When I was in secondary school, before I became a DJ, when I had the intention of becoming a DJ, music, songs then used to make sense, real sense, in the sense that I can pick up a pen and a paper, write a love letter to my crush back then with the lyrics from a song from the old school. Maybe Lionel Richie, Celine Dion, all those, their lines actually had meanings, and it was a song that people danced to and they loved it, But right now, I don't know if you can write a love letter with Urukutu, 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 or banana, banana, banana. No, I'm just, no disrespect, but new school is good, you understand? But it has transformed from what it used to be to what it is now with the Gen Z, what the Gen Z likes, what they call Indomie.
Wow.
So it's totally different. Although some artists are now taking samples from the old school to create new ones. Kudos to the likes of Burna Boy, Davido, and co. You understand that? Actually bringing some parts of the samples of the old school into the new school. You understand? But most songs, okay, let me give you an instance now. Do you know you can play some old songs in a party and it will still groove the party? But there are some new songs that have reigned and they are dead like that, and when they play it, you now remember, oh, there was something like this, you understand? But it didn't last the test of time.
Okay, so you're saying the older songs have more, is it shelf life, I would call it, or more life to it?
More life, more understanding to the lyrics. The new songs, you need to stay glued to TikTok before you can understand the lyrics.
TikTok. So I see you're conversant with social media.
Yeah, I am.
That's good. Like you don't see so much of that as people go older. You don't see much of that. Okay, yes. Obviously, the equipment have changed in the past 30 years. The equipment have changed. So, what would you say you prefer? The older equipments like the turntable, or this new digital controller thing that they are using now?
Well, it's a matter of choice, though. But I started with the analog before it got to the digital. You know what I'm saying? When I started my DJing, there was this vinyl and turntable where you have to pick your pin and put on top of the vinyl while it's rolling. So you could do your tricks and everything on it now. So from then, we had a transformation to getting songs in your laptop and getting it played out there. Then some people created softwares like the virtual DJ that you can actually mix from one song to the other, thereby trying to phase out the turntable. You understand? But the real thing is, and the turntable, the laptop actually brought in a number of DJs because they found out that it made it easier. Unlike the analog type where you have to get a record for each artist, record for each artist. We used to carry big boxes then.
Wow.
So now technology has made it easier for you to have all those songs in those big boxes in a particular chip that you can play like 1 million songs.
Songs.
You understand? So since it got easier, a lot of people got interested in it. But it was harder then than now.
No.
You understand? It was harder then than now. So, and technology has brought in the turntable back again, because there's this thing they call phase DJ. Is a magnetic device that you can place on your turntable without having to use the pin.
Okay.
So I'm still thinking of getting my turntable back.
Turntable back.
Dusting everything and.
So that means you are still telling us that your love for the turntable hasn't died.
No, it hasn't died. Turntable is a real thing. It's actually what, I don't know who invented the turntable and the DJ stuff, but the person did it basically for DJs. And that's why you can have some things you can manipulate to do some tricks on the turntable. Yeah.
So let's talk a bit about mixing techniques. Do you think that in the core skills of mixing, that the beats matching and everything, do you think it has evolved, or they are timeless, regardless of the generation?
Yes, that's a good question. The first thing we started with was mixing from one to the other, scratching from one song to the other, blending from one song to the other, and that actually kept the party moving. But right now, the style has actually changed. Some people stop songs, say something, and put the next song. Some people just drop the next track. You understand? There's more of crowd response this time around, and it's good. It's good, but I don't think it has phased out the old style of blending and
matching the beats.
Beats matching. You understand? Now most DJs now play from one genre, from low to high, from high to low. You understand? As far as you know how to probably take care of the dead air when you want to blend into the next song, either with a scratch or hype.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So, can you tell us that what makes you know that this is the kind of music to play, like this is the genre of music to play in a party? Like, how do you make the choice?
Well, that is actually part of the ethics of the DJing industry. You understand? That's part of the things you have to learn as a DJ, apart from making your playlist and everything. When sometimes a client might not tell you the type of party, or it might be an emergency party that you're coming into. What you have to do, instead of talking, if you don't have the time to talk with the person that contracted you, you watch your crowd. When you have a crowd and more of the papas and mamas are coming in, you already know that these are not Gen Z, these are not Indomie generation. So you need to, like, while you're making your playlists, you get things like high life, some old school, some blues, and some other things, jazz. But when you're seeing them coming in with their kids and aunties that are younger and all those things, that's when you now start, mixing up your playlist.
Okay.
So that's what determines, because if you say you want to just satisfy only the old school, the new school will call you a useless DJ, that you don't know anything. So when you try to satisfy the young, you satisfy the old at the same time, with your own discretion as a professional DJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and can you tell us a bit of how you find the balance between playing hit music and introducing a new sound? Do you understand? Like, you are in a party and you're DJing, and the crowd is going, we're enjoying the music. So does that mean at that point in time you can only play songs that everyone knows that is hits and really love, or you can also put in some new sounds that might be amazing and just fit? How do you balance that?
Okay. Like they say in Igbo language, "Afioman alone."
In translation, first, please.
In translation, a good market sells, a good product sells itself. Gary, no, they do adverts, but they sell for market. So when you hear a good song as a DJ, your discretion will let you know that if I play this song, that people might walk out or people might dance. So if it's a song I want to test, I don't play it at the peak of my party. I start with it or probably end with it. After I must have shown them, yes, I am a good DJ, I've given you what I want, but listen to this song. You understand what I'm saying? But if the song is good and you know it's a good market that sells itself, you can blend it alongside some hit tracks. Watch the crowd. If they dance to it very well, you leave it for a while. But if not, immediately after the first verse, you switch into another hit track. That will keep the party going.
Okay. We are seeing a master DJ at work. Like he's telling us all these intricate details. Wow. It's I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot. So now a lot of people prefer like a certain genre of music, and it now seems like some genre of music are dying down. Like now you hear more people listen more of Afrobeats than maybe high life. Do you understand? Like there's now a trend. So how do you manage that as a DJ?
Well, as I said earlier, it's about your discretion. Yeah, I personally don't allow the genres of some hit tracks I have to die off. Sometimes I play Bob Marley and people still, vibe to Bob Marley. And after that, the next song I might play another Afrobeat. You understand what I'm saying? People still, the only thing I might not play is blues when you're supposed to start dancing. But if it's a mid-tempo that can keep you going, it's a mid-tempo that people can sing along to, you could just throw it in. When they sing along, you go into another genre. I play high life. After all, Go is now really like people dance to it in clubs and lounges. So there's no limit to the genres of songs I play in parties or anywhere. Yeah.
Okay. So let's look at the business side of things. You mentioned something earlier about an influx of a lot of DJs. Now that things are simpler, you're not using the turntables. So how has it been, like, market-wise for you now? Like, would you say it's still profitable to be a DJ, and would you say it's still a career worth going after, worth pursuing?
Yeah, you just said it all. It's a career worth pursuing. It's a career like me. It's actually my retirement package. You understand what I'm saying? Because imagine getting paid for making people happy. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. My job is to keep people on the dance floor. If you're having any sickness or any BP or anything, I calm it down. I make you dance away your sorrows. You understand what I'm saying? So it's something that I encourage people that wants to go into, know the ethics of the jobs, of the profession, know that we have ups and downs. Some people just jump into it because they feel there's money in it. There's actually more money in it now than before.
Wow.
You understand? That's why most people that started then, most of them are not DJs right now because they felt nothing is coming out of it. But those that are into it now are actually making money. So if you know what you're doing, if you know your onions, if you know how to package yourself, you get there.
Because I was even about to ask that, how do I become distinct? Like how does a person make themselves different? Being that now a lot of people are DJs, you can see a lot of DJs. So how do I sell myself to be different than?
It's all about thinking outside the box. A lot of DJs play songs. A lot of DJs do different things. If you can think outside the box and create a niche for yourself, let people know, okay, this is what I do. Some people are actually only gospel DJs. When they come to parties and it's like a church thing, they keep people on the dance floor with just gospel songs, and they are known for it. I know one DJ, Alex, he's actually in US right now. He used to base in Abuja. So he gave me most of his gospel songs at hits parties. So that's why I knew him with that particular aspect. There are lots of DJs, even the current ones that are making waves, and I give kudos to them. DJ Funky, DJ Slim V, the way they package their website and everything. Each event they go, they have a camera that comes with them, captures them. You understand what I'm saying? You know, they create a niche out of whatever it is. That's why I said thinking outside the box. You mustn't do exactly the same thing they are doing. All you need to do is create a niche. I am so and so DJ. I am a versatile DJ. I can do anything. You know, do a short video, package yourself and put on the internet. People will see it and probably like it. You have your own fan base. You understand? You know, DJ Ernestino, a lot of people, you know, DJ St. Wills, you know, a lot of people package themselves. So I give kudos to those people. Those ones I can remember and those I can't remember. But it's all about thinking outside the box. It makes you unique. I'm an advocate of being unique. That I stand out. I probably would want to create something that people want to copy and, you know. So I don't fight to belong. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, yes, I do. So I'm sure you participated in several DJ competitions, because I know they do exist. So can you tell us a bit about that?
Okay, the one that actually brought me to the limelight was Benson and Hedges National DJ Championship that happened in 2001. It was done all over Nigeria, but because of the brand Benson and Hedges, it's cigarettes, so they were told not to do anything entertainment again, so that they won't encourage people to smoke or something. You understand? So that's why it's actually died down. But I came first in ENUGU. We did I actually won a mixer. Then we did the regional finals in Port Harcourt. I came third. Qualified for Lagos. The same Benson and Hedges. It's a national championship. Then in Lagos, I did not come first or third or second or third. So, but the fact is that I got into Lagos for the finals.
There was exposure for you.
Yes, that was when people started hearing about DJ Grand Fingers. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about challenges. Do you think that the DJs that are coming now are facing as much challenges as the DJs of then, like the old school DJs?
Can you come again?
The new school DJs, do you think they face as much challenges as the old school DJs used to face?
As I said earlier, I will always refer to whatever statement I made earlier, that technology has actually made things easier. If you ask Good Noise, and I know he might be watching, DJ Good Noise, and a lot of some old school DJs that I started with, we suffered then. Seriously. There was no laptop. We'll carry turntables, we'll set up, carry speakers, set up. Now, the next thing is the records, those vinyls, because there was nothing else to play with. There was, you know, we'll carry the first carton, second carton, and await our master to say, okay, give me Shalama. He will only do his hand like this. And
okay, so they used to have assistants.
Yes.
Wow.
We had mentors then that we learned from. So when you go, you set up for them, they will just come, give me Cool and the Gang. You now search, dust the records.
Wow.
You know, dust the record, make sure that there's nothing on it to make the pin skip, and give it to him. You know, he will now play it. The next thing he will tell you, search for another track. Give me Montel Jordan, give me this, give me that, give me Onyeka. When you start working. So it was harder then. Those things we were doing then, what you actually do now is scroll on your laptop. You know, understand? So you don't have to dust anything on your laptop. Scroll, get the song, cue it in for the next track. So that was how hard it was then. So it's actually easier right now.
Wow. Nobody will know that there was this much heavy lifting to DJing in the old school.
Seriously, we suffered.
Now for don't collect some muscles. All those heavy lifting. Wow. Okay, so before we round up today, because we don't have so much time,
Okay.
I want you to just give an advice to upcoming DJs as someone that spent 30 years of his life doing this thing. So I know there are some wise words of wisdom that you would have for someone coming in.
Yeah, there are lots, but I will still cut it short. First of all, you have to love what you're going into. First of all, you have to love what you're going into. Let me give an instance to cut everything short. There was a time I was driving to Owerri. I met a police checkpoint, and the police that stopped me was a former DJ. I don't want to call anybody's name, but I asked him, what's in happen now? He told me that this job, no, they favor me. My papa can't say, make I jump police. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. So you have to love what you are going to, knowing the fact that you have all odds against you. My parents did not want me to be a DJ. It's a pity they are not alive to see what I am today. My dad said they wanted me to be a doctor. My mom, everybody, they did not want me to be a DJ because way back then, DJs were like dressing shabby with singlets. They feel the job is a dirty job. So let me go and finish the job and take my bath, It was when it came to this particular part of generation that everything changed. So you have to love what you're doing. Get ready to face the ups and downs in as much as going into it. Package yourself, know the ethics of the business, be honest in what you're doing. It will make your clients or your fans like you. I have a long list. But I just have to say the ones I remember right now for the sake of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, lastly, which era do you prefer? The old school or the new school?
I'm kind of standing in between the fence now because a lot of things, like I actually have a project I'm about to do which has to do with this right now because I'm trying to blend old and new together, So I will be doing it alongside my colleague DJ FX2.
Wow.
Yes, so that will be after our events, the Night of the Legends. Very soon we are going to have it. We're planning it, but we don't know the date yet. We don't know venue, but we're trying to bring the old and new together. Yeah.
So you guys should look forward to this event. It's been lovely having you here, DJ Grand Fingers. Yes, I know. I would like forget the legend's name. No. It's been lovely having you here and learning about DJing and really seeing from the old school and the new school and seeing the differences. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. Thank you so much for coming around.
You're welcome.
So my people, that is all I have for you today. But I know you enjoyed yourself. And I'm sure that popcorn you ate yourself has finished. So do well to tune in tomorrow again by 1 p.m. Do well to follow us on our social media platforms. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Please subscribe. I don't know why you have not subscribed yet, but please press that subscribe button so that you can know when I'm about to give you entertaining things like this. So we are live 24/7 on YouTube, yes, and we're also live on Facebook, yeah. So please take care of yourself. I remain your host, Layomi Adeyemi, and it's been E-Vibes.
Fuel pump price, which is very high, it's affecting the spending habits of citizens. It's making it very hard. If fuel subsidy is to be reintroduced. I think it will make spending habits of consumers to be less. And the unit price of commodities will reduce because the transportation costs will reduce, which will make life easy for us to live.
It's really an issue that has been lingering for a very long time now. I remember coming down here to this venue today and I saw the queue in the NNPC filling station, and I feel that this is part of the reason why we're having the hike in prices of things, and something can be done. The NNPC can do something about this to make sure that fuel is readily available to every part of Nigeria.
Like now I'm doing business and I want to purchase something. I can't buy it normal price. The price will go higher, and at the end of the day I cannot even get what to eat. I cannot see money to buy what I will eat with my baby. So it's really very hard for us to survive.
The issue is quite alarming and so disheartening because most of us have a lot of things to do. Like where you used to go to 200 is now 500. Where you used to, somebody that is an average worker, maybe a sales girl that is being paid 30K. Imagine your transport fare every day. You might just, half of your money will be gone for just transportation. It doesn't only affect our transportation, it also affects our daily living. The thing used to, even biscuit, that one hurts me. I'm seriously saying it. Biscuit I used to buy 16 naira is now 120. And 150 on is now 300. Imagine students like us, how we are going to be surviving and how we are going to be managing ourselves. Some of us in school, they are the one catching for ourselves. So when you combine these two school activities and daily living, it's quite alarming.
To be honest, me, in school, I trekked from the hostel to the gate because the transport fare was 70 naira, but now it is 150. So the increment is is so overwhelming that I prefer trekking. Like I rather trek than to spend 150 naira. It's a lot on transport, and the distance is actually so short compared to what it was before. So aside transportation, it has also affected the cost of feeding. Yes. Because if you want to if you want to buy pepper now, pepper that was let me say 20, 15 naira, it's just for 200 naira. Now I don't know what it is now. So both feeding, accommodation, because your agent will also add transportation to go check the building. And all this, like, it's numerous. It's even the school fees has increased. Our school fees has increased.
Actually, what I think about the award is that there's speciality in the award, in the sense that Rodri is not better than Vinicius. For me, Vinicius is the best midfielder in the world. For me, right now, Vinicius is the best midfielder in the world. It is just because black people are stereotyped. That's why awards are not even given to them. It's not even only in football. In every aspect of life, black people are stereotyped. If you come to a position where a black man is supposed to get an award, they will pick a white person over a black man. It has always been like that. So Vinicius' case is not different. For me, Vinicius is the best midfielder in the world. In the world, when I mean in the world, Vinicius is the best midfielder. Quote me anywhere. Yes, he was robbed of the award. Rodri is not better than Vinicius. in any way.
The award day before yesterday was nothing to write home about because I felt like Vinicius was robbed. Everybody knows that he deserved the Ballon d'Or from his hard working on the pitch and outside the pitch, and also for we, the fans of football. We know that he has been fighting for racism outside the pitch and inside the pitch as well. So a lot of things, a lot of contemplations. But at the end of the day, we know that time to come, they will compensate him for him to win the next one.
The Ballon d'Or they give, through Nad Rodri deserve that Ballon d'Or because Rodri now one camp player. He is the key player has for Man City. When if Rodrigo not there, Man City match, they no fit play anything now to just run and escape to 1-1-0, they take the win their match. But Rodrigo last season, he was best player in the Europe.
This Ballon d'Or shock everybody because I'm think even that I'm calling Gino in Real Madrid the next Ballon d'Or winner. As they can't give a Man City player, I shock because when 2010 they left Schneider and Iniesta, they give to Messi. So this one shock everybody too. Make FIFA do something about it because we know they know what is right for them, but we fans, we know what is right for us, and then we are seeing it. The PSV play well, PSV never play well.
So me, I personally think that Vinicius won it, though Rodri is an amazing player, but last year best player was Vinicius Junior, in my opinion.
Good morning and welcome to Signature. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I like saying Signature Morning, but this is a new day. So good morning and welcome to New Day on Signature TV. Of course, it is a Sunday, first Sunday of the month of November. For some of us, we're already in church to celebrate God. For some of us, this is how we worship our God. So my name is Joshua Retogwan. You know, of course, that I don't do this alone. I do it with one powerful woman. I'm just going to introduce herself right now. Hello.
Good morning. I'm Chigi Chagram. Thanks for joining us. You know, when you serenade me like this,
come off it.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I try to do the least because we're on the air. You know, I don't want to tell people all the.
No, it's okay. Please tell.
I should tell them.
Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Well, we'll be moving over to the newspaper headlines and reviews. We'll have a lot of conversations that is going to benefit you today. We want you to stick around and stay tuned. We'll see you after this with the newspaper headlines and review.
And if you're just joining us, this is still Signature Television New Day, and welcome to our newspaper headlines and review. First up is a Tribune, Sunday Tribune, and just above the mast, Nigerian professors poorest paid in the world and about $300 monthly, with writers that say other categories of lecturers earn less and salary stagnant since 2009.
And just below the mast, we have the 2027 elections contest between APC Nigerians, coming from Makinde with rider Adeleke calls for unity and while Southwest PDP.
Still on Sunday Tribune and above the mast, tax reforms bill, Asumben Yakasai back presidency and urge NAS to pass bills. On page 5, with riders saying Northern Forum commends Tinubu for rejecting next decision.
And on page 9, we have major health crisis looms with rider government hospitals grossly short-staffed, doctors, nurses overworked as gap in doctor-patient ratio widens. And finally, I have power went off 15 times during vein tumor operation, coming from a neurosurgeon.
And finally, on the Sunday Tribune, children in care homes suffer sexual abuse, child labor, risk PTSD, researchers claim.
And moving over to the Sunday Punch, we have Libya begins mass arrest of Nigerians after CAF verdict. With the rider, they said they will pay the $50,000 fine, president of Nigerian community. And still above the mast, we have why we are probing gay claims against youth pastor, coming from the RCCG.
And boldly written in front of the Sunday Punch newspaper, treason. Attorney General considers dropping charges against hungry miners, with writers that say courts may reconvene this week to review case after outrage, and lawyer raises question on 2 missing defendants. This could be found on page 3 of the Sunday Punch.
And on page 4, we have mixed feelings as British Nigerian woman emerges UK party leader.
I lost 5 family members, 9 patients to building collapse, says Oyo native doctor on page 6.
15 million naira bribe claim. Bobrisky released on bail after denying voice notes.
And finally, on the Sunday Punch, Sanu Nasir vowed to continue strike despite partial payment.
And moving over to The Nation, just above the mast, we have British Nigerian Kemi Badenoch elected UK Conservative Party leader, with the rider says it's time to get down to business.
Interesting. Still above the Nation's mast, presidency dismisses claims of Southwest domination in security appointments.
And just below the mast, boldly written, we have protesters trial. AGF receives files, may withdraw cases, with the rider arraignment followed due process, police insist. Correctional services denies detaining minors in adult facility. Obla sentiment driving criticism of teens arraignment. Protesters should have been charged in their states, coming from Daudu.
Still on the Sunday Nation, EFCC invites Edo Accountant General for others over loan facility on page 8 of the Nation.
Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, Umahi meets stakeholders in Lagos today. Federal government set up legal team.
Lost anchors. Maiduguri women bear bitter burdens of September flood, with a rider at the mercy of predators. Sad fate of widows, mothers, daughters.
Governor releases withheld salaries for NASU, pays retirees. And that's the much we can take on The Nation. Moving over to the Sunday Times, we have federal government proposes 341 billion naira for emergency road and bridge repairs.
EFCC cripples Edo government, arrest Accountant General, others days to Obaseki's handover, with riders that say plans to hold arrested officials till November 12th. Unconstitutional actions done to hinder operations, coming from EDSG as EDSG response.
Week of rage, troop kill 187 terrorists. NAB wanted Habu Dogo and 262 others.
How soaring domestic airfare is crippling local tourism coming from Kiamu.
And I think finally on the Sunday Times, and bad governance, arraignment of suspect in line with rule of law coming from the police.
Interesting. All right, moving over to This Day newspaper. Just above the mass, Lukubiri, federal government deploying drones to tackle oil theft, seeks support for additional 1 million naira, 1 million BPD target, with a rider that says Nigeria ready to host $5 billion Africa Energy Bank.
I've seen that before, but okay, let's not say anything. So
Please, let's not.
Marking Day 2027 elections will be APC versus Nigerians, not between PDP and ruling party. And the writer says urges PDP leaders to unite against external control.
History as Kemi Badenoch becomes first black woman to lead UK's Conservative Party, with a writer that says new opposition leader vows to hold government to account, return her party to power.
And of course, on the United States election, we have post-election violence looms, and United States as Washington State puts National Guard on standby.
And finally, on this day, post-election violence looms in United States as Washington States put National Guards on standby.
And I think that is the much we can take on the newspaper headlines. We're going to be moving over to the reviews right away, and we have in the studio with us Chris Maduka. Chris, good morning.
Good
I
morning,
can see the way your hands are. Yeah, these headlines would have caught a lot of your attention, a lot of them.
Yeah, beautiful headlines.
Beautiful.
Attention catching.
I was going to say, was that the only adjective you have used to qualify attention catching headlines?
Attention catching country, Nigeria. Attention catching everything. Governance system, economy, security. A lot of things about Nigeria is attention catching. And Josh, you attention catching, and Chigi, all of you attention catching this one.
I hope for the right reasons.
All right.
Let's leave that to the history.
No problem. Before we go on, we're going to go on a very short break. When we come back, the review continues.
It's still Signature Television New Day newspaper review, and of course Chris is in the studio to give us in-depth insights as to some of the happenings in Nigeria and of course beyond. So Chris, you were saying something before we went on the break.
Yeah, we're on the subject of attention catching. Attention catching, and Joshua called for attention catching break. And we went on attention catching break.
Yes,
we are back on attention catching New Day on Signature Television.
Makes absolute sense.
Yeah, Josh, you were about to shoot the shoot. I don't know.
Okay, so let me start with this one because I feel like we have a lot of permit me to use the word. Okay, no, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to allow you to say it because I know you like to say it as well. So on the Sunday Punch, treason, Attorney General considers dropping charges against hungry minors.
What did I hear you say?
Yes.
Drop.
Like consider.
Yes, he's considering dropping.
They shouldn't consider dropping nothing.
And I think in one
They're
of
on
the
the
other
right track.
headlines.
Because in bad governance, the IG says the arrangement is with the rule of law. So why are they confusing themselves?
So
go ahead.
And in another development,
Nigeria is a place
they
where
said if you're 7 and above, that you're liable.
yes.
and then,
So it's no more 18.
so when you put corpses of these children, innocent children, arraign them. This is Nigeria. Good luck to IG and Attorney General. Why are you considering? Why? Don't consider not to know. I mean, you're on the right track. Is the rule of law. This is the first time I'm hearing somebody in high position of authority in Nigeria saying rule of law. Something happened in Edo State recently. I didn't hear IG say rule of law. The elections were happening in River State, and the police were appointed. The people were pointing negative fingers to police. I didn't hear IG say rule of law. When you arraign innocent children who are hunger, they are fainting in the current style. Somebody said they were dramatizing, and I wish them luck. Someday, somebody related to you will be in that position to dramatize.
Chris, someone said that it's the sentiment that is causing the criticism from people.
That is, Nigerians are sentimental and emotional people.
Yeah, human
Before you are dealing with Nigerians, you should know who the country you're dealing with. If you know how to rear a goat, you will learn how your goat cries. Nigerian president is emotional and sentimental. The Nigerian populace are emotional and sentimental. The Nigerian Senate are emotional. Nigerian NAS members are emotional and sentimental. Nigerian governors are. The IG of police are. And all the people in the Port Authority are. We are Nigerians. And we know how emotional and sensitively attached to our lives and property of people. So what are you talking about? That they bring a child, those things, and you do not flinch when you see such situation. If they have taken them to correctional centers just for minors, and they are giving them food.
Do those centers actually exist? Most
If
of them
you don't have such centers,
most
so
of them have
you
become
shouldn't
moribund.
you should not lump children like this with hardened criminals. Look at the young man who saw them and was doing a viral video.
Yes.
What they said?
Yes.
Is it the
very dark man?
Yes.
How many years is dark man?
In the same correctional center
with the same cell, with all these children.
And then someone came out again to say in the newspaper headline that the kids were not in the adult facility. So,
you know, I think
for me, is it that wherever they kept them, I don't know where they brought them from, but if this is these children were taken from children facilities,
yes,
it will be difficult.
Then
they're different.
That children facilities.
But how hard can it be, assuming there are no facilities for kids, to make a makeshift dormitory where these kids could be kept pending whatever the outcome of whatever?
Were they even supposed to be arrested at first?
No, you are asking me. A lot of VIP Nigerians, when they arrest them,
do they keep them in correctional centers? Don't they know where they keep them?
You people were talking about one Nigerian who said he paid 15 million to secure, even they put you in prison, you go and
okay, so let me even say this. These kids that they would tell us that were abducted and later recovered, where do they keep them? You think they take them? They don't take them directly to their parents. They keep them in Abuja, do all the razzmatazz. Where do they keep them? If
you had wanted to do this, you see, when I talked yesterday saying, God catch Nigeria, there are certain things you do. These unseen hand and forces that make the world see how stupid people's own decisions can be, will bring you out. I think these stupid decisions, over time, 90-something days you kept these boys in one place. It's not that you're taking good care of them. Somebody, if you love this Nigeria and love the Tinubu administration, would have advised how to handle this issue. You brought all of them to court, and you allow the press to film them, and these are children, and you think Nigeria will not be emotional, the way I am? If you're not emotional, then you have never know what it means to have children in Nigeria and sustain them.
But for me, also, what outrages me really is the fact that people are coming out to defend this. Why is it hard for people in government, people in authority to say, this is a mistake from our part, we are sorry? What will it take? It's
not in
so
the dictionary.
absurd. It's so absurd that someone in leadership actually came out to say, once you're 7 years and above, you are liable. It's so absurd.
No, the people who said this is easy. You know why it is easy? Once somebody else's corpse is carried, it's a lot of work.
But we're talking about children.
Now I'm talking about these people that are making this statement. Are their children here? Are they in the street of Kano?
They are not.
Are they facing what northern Nigerian children are facing? The government are crying. Do you know the drug issue in the streets of Kano and all the northern states of these children and their margeries and these street children, these street urchins who nobody cares about? The ones who have parents are crying. The parents are crying. Even one that can still find one set of food a day to eat are crying. Let us talk about these ones that wake up
on the streets,
floating. They don't know nothing. They can't depend on nothing. Nobody cares about them, and that's why the ones that the best thing you can do for them is to put 10 million naira treason charge upon them that they came out to riot during. Some of them were flying flags. They don't even know what it means. Somebody gave it to them.
Someone obviously put it in their hands.
Yeah. So these are how Nigerians exploit such situations. And you weaponize poverty.
Weaponize poverty.
And when the politician weaponize poverty, the same politician could have used these children to cause havoc and set places of enemies ablaze during politics. They know how to use them. But they have the mind to bring them to court and say these children are charged with treason in a federation like Nigeria. They would have thought another thing and tell Nigeria. I mean, when they were saying people were caught by treason, I didn't know they were these kids. You know, I didn't know it was this.
And we had discussed it.
Several times we were saying.
If only we knew that children were good.
God.
All right, this is an emotional one for us all. So let's move on to a much lighter and uplifting story, talking about Kemi Badenoch, recently won as the first black woman to lead UK's Conservative Party. And I'm thinking to myself, we have these, crop of leaders, who are forward-thinking, yet they are, in diaspora doing amazing things.
Do you know, Chigi?
Do you want to come to this country?
This young woman has potential to be the Prime Minister of
Absolutely.
Leading this party.
Absolutely.
Leading this party, she's leading at this age.
Yes.
She has very clear path of growth to become Prime Minister.
UK Prime Minister.
Yes.
Because I'm sure she must have, must have shown capacity. She
yes,
has some
before they
to get to this, I think has to add to the good news that's coming. But don't to think about it. There's one word they use in Igbo land, there's born through way. We have talked about how Nigerian situation do not accommodate in our young people who we have spent money, who we have spent resources to train. At the point we encourage them to become productive. That's the point politicians and people in governance positions will discourage them and want them to go away, so that they will remain at status quo ante condition. They will be rolling themselves over and over again. And these young Nigerians has found a way of saying that we can only serve where we are appreciated. Sure. And somebody, can you imagine, at the age she's leading, emerges
UK Conservative
Party leader. At the age, look at the party leaders in Nigeria. And look at the party structure. How many times on this desk we have discussed intra-party squabbles and dog eat dog, all these fights, and fight in the Nigerian political system. If such is there was a time Nigerian women, and to think that she's a woman, when Nigerian women were asking for, they were saying Beijing conference, the outcome of it, they were asking for 35% reservation, they were asking of women, and those things died down.
I still have issues with that though, but that's a subject for another day.
35% that I were asking that you reserve.
Those who are deserving, not just to dish it out to people who go there and disgrace women.
No, we are not. No, we didn't say when you say 35%. It's only one person who is qualified come out.
Absolutely.
You join.
No, that caveat needs to be there.
And nobody has said go to the psychiatric centers, pull out all the
You don't have to go that far, but we know what we're saying.
I know what they're saying, but they know that even at that, Nigerians have not gotten there. Even the hard-made women cannot smell anything near this.
Sure.
How many parties in Nigeria have? They only make them cheerleaders. Women
leaders.
Where they say, this is what you see them using them to sing to grace their event. They will never allow them very close near. But look at a young Nigerian woman. They think she's not even British. They just mix blooded Nigerian now.
Kemi,
get to this position.
There's another young Nigerian. There's another young Nigerian, a lady again.
There are so
in Canada.
many of them. There's so many of them everywhere.
In the legislature.
It tells you the gap. When people who are decent are talking, you emerge as a Nigerian and say you're a Nigerian. We should go and bury our heads in shame. We are not part of this globe, not this modern world. We relegate our base ourselves back into history of 50 years. And that's where we should be put in archives. We are not operating in a modern world as a nation. I don't know why. But this is a forward-looking country. Who are our colonial masters? UK. What are we learning from them? Is it only the negative things that we learn from them? We leave the positive things they are pushing that have made their country, everybody want to go there. Everybody want to go there. What has made? Because they sacrifice to stabilize the system. If you go contrary to what the system wants, you'll be fired. No matter whose ox is, no matter who you are. But this is where in Nigeria, we begin to consider, Chigi is related to the man.
She's the daughter of Chief, this one, and the brother of...
Who's your father?
You know, that kind of thing. But that's why we'll be talking like that until things spoil. Things will get spoiled. I think we are very close to things getting spoiled already.
I believe that things are spoiled already.
But we, like the hope we already have, Nigeria has to get this bad before it gets better.
Okay, now speaking of Nigeria has to get this bad before it gets better, Sunday Tribune, we have 2027 elections, contest between APC and Nigerians.
Okay, I want to add quickly, between all the parties and the people of Nigeria.
Yes.
Makinde might be saying it's like he's throwing a swipe at APC, and they think he's free. He should bring his scorecard. Well, whatever party he represents. Long ago, I don't have anything against APC as a party. When they make something I do not like, I criticize them. But I've not seen any party in Nigeria that have come out to prove that they are angels. I've not seen. So if you are saying APC, if you point one finger, 5 are pointing at you.
But how about that statement where they say the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know? At least we've known PDP for a very long time.
I don't think we know them that much again. With the firecrackers among them, setting fires everywhere,
yes.
You know, shooting like James Bond those days. They shoot Egdo down, you know, fighting to shoot the rivers down. And they're looking for Shunto. I mean, why don't they do all those James Bonding? And you will still want to talk about it. Well, but I'm saying, the 2027 election is not just for any party. Let's be very fair. It's between Nigerians and all the parties that will put their poster on the wall want to come out. Nigerians have gotten it to here. Nobody should use sentiments. Makinde shouldn't use sentiment to come and tell us it's between them and we that are Nigerians.
But then, Chris, given the voter apathy that is prevalent in Nigeria, you think voters stand any chance?
Well, you get to a point. People will say, well, if somebody will now talk to them a little bit and say, do you know that the essence of mopping up this voters apathy by discouraging you from coming to vote is that this, what happened in recent past will continue in recent future. The people will stand up again.
But we need to start now. I mean, the public enlightenment needs to start now, because it takes a while for people to change their attitude.
INEC has budget and has department for public education.
We're not talking INEC.
Oh,
We
you
know
want us not to
INEC.
talk about it?
INEC is
okay,
no
we
longer,
have National Orientation Agency. No.
that is moribund.
I don't know, but these
Have
are,
you seen
these
any-
are agencies where people are working and
I'm
collecting
talking of
salary.
civil
Big
service
salary.
organizations, non-governmental organizations.
We do what? Non-government organizations like what? Serap?
Any one of them.
I don't know.
You know, go to social media and begin to enlighten people.
But people are talking just like you are talking there. You are doing your own bit by.
How much can one person do? We need
It
to start
starts,
talking now.
it starts trickle by trickle, trickle by trickle.
But Joshua, if you remember,
Yes.
before this last elections, I mean, the awareness was massive on social media.
Yes, it was.
Celebrities, everybody go get your voter's card, make sure you
No,
vote.
I think the time is still not
They
there
smash-
yet.
they
There's
smash that
still
hope.
time.
No,
yes.
we need as soon as possible, because it has to do with an attitudinal change.
Again, don't forget that a lot of people came out to vote. In fact, we saw videos all over Nigeria, people voting.
Definitely,
shouting,
definitely. But then there's
LP.
voter apathy following what happened in the last election. So we
Yes.
need to still start talking to people from now, actually.
Well, we start talking to people, Nigerians. You know, if you think education is expensive, you try poverty.
Try illiteracy.
If you think that not voting at all, and then if that the one you have voted is not yielding result, don't even vote at all. That's when you hear me, because it means you have given the platter on the platter of gold, on platter
Your
of gold.
future,
this
just carry
same-
your future.
This same Nigeria we're talking about now, and remain in the hands of the same people you think they're not handling things right. So we need to be mobilized to think about the future.
Definitely.
Honestly, we
Definitely.
begin, no matter what it, Nigerians are used to having it in their comfort zone, but it's high time Nigerians to step out of their comfort zone to fight the thing that is fighting them. Otherwise, that
You
thing
know,
will fight
someone
and kill
said,
them.
and I read, that you cannot deliver a slave who finds comfort in his or her captivity.
Because when they make
Yeah.
you comfortable in your captivity,
That
when
is the
they-
thing. That is the thing. All right, let's moving over to the Sunday Times. EFCC cripples Edo government, arrest accountant general and others, days to Obaseki's
And I said EFCC should make it a rule to do whatever they're doing to Obaseki.
To every other,
100%.
yes.
Because if you use those states to begin to do what is right, or what you think is right, people will still feel it's selective.
It feels selective, though.
This is not the first time we hand over government to another government, even if it's same party. The people who are handing over should even not be allowed to leave government house until they account. So if you say arrest, it sounds negative. I mean, you have served Nigeria, your people for 8 years, and then you and your group should be invited for a chat. Let us see the papers. What did you inherit? What are you leaving behind? And who are you giving what? So that we know at one point when the person you handed over is leaving, whether he got there by hook or crook. But the fact is that there's been a change of battle. So we know at what point what you're handing over. And then so that we know where to start assessing the person. But this, you know, how do I say it? Disjointed operation.
They say
People will see it.
It's over
People
loan
will see
facility.
it. People will see what you are doing in those states as if it's politically motivated.
It smells.
I think it smacks of
smells
some,
political
because
motivation.
you have fought this man to a point. You go to a point where you said, and the government is changed and all. There must be another way of making it instead of all these
Drama.
EFCC cripples. You know, the headlines also. How Nigerian headlines couch. It's also
They are
suspect. I don't know,
structured.
but I'm saying that if the FCC has decided to make it a point, they say that let all Nigerians know that each time you are living, whatever government house it is, every government house has a name of an older politician they used to name it. In Edo State is Osadebe. In Kogi is Lugard. Whatever the houses they have, whenever you're leaving such house, remember, you came in there as a servant. And when you need to go, you account. If it become a rule.
Okay. So,
That's, you know,
we're having a major issue. Even according to the headline, it is a major issue. So, I think day before yesterday, also I read on X about how somebody had an accident, went to the hospital, and then because NAD was on strike, he lost his cousin. But now, see, major crisis, major health crisis looms. Government hospitals grossly short-staffed. Doctors, nurses overworked as gap in doctor-patient ratio widens. Then power went off 15 times during vein tumor operation. What is happening in our health sector? Do we still have hope? I hear a lot of people say, don't even pray not to fall sick. You say it a lot as well. Pray not to fall sick. What is the solution, if there is one, to this issue?
Well, most of times we come here to do newspaper review, and I baffle at Chigi and Joshua asking me about solution. Solution for a 64-year-old Nigerian that is older than me. But we can be able to profile that. That's why one of the to assess health in Nigeria is becoming very, very expensive. Because if you find a brain hospital where you have to run on generator for about 15 hours of brain surgery, then you think about the gas, how much the gas. Yesterday I was in a keke. I asked the keke man, how much are they selling diesel when we're passing through a filling station? He said this particular filling station sells a liter of diesel 1,200. And that means fuel now is more expensive than diesel. And at whatever it is, whatever that means, okay, diesel is still higher, it's more expensive. So if a hospital, because they do not trust on the public power grid, have to do this kind of operation, and they have to run on generator, they put the cost on the patient. And they now see it's double wahala for the body. Probably the family of the people who are going to go through, sell all they have to save probably a breadwinner of the house. And they find the cost of running operation that if nothing like this is done, find the person losing their life. Because for a Nigerian to survive 15 power outage during a brain tumor operation, for that person to still be alive, shows that God is a Nigerian. They don't think about this in more decent societies. And they make it over time, they consolidate so that the costs begin to come down. But here, is it one patient, because a lot of people have died of brain tumor, because when you try to make inquiry, only to buy a card to register in a brain hospital, they will tell you how many millions you pay to just a purchase card to register. So you better go home, and if you are the patient, you go and write your will and wait for, and maybe end up in a church.
I think what's happening in the health sector is what's happening across all sectors in Nigeria. It's not peculiar to the health sector.
It's not easy for any sector of Nigeria. And when we talk about hardship hunger, people misunderstand. It's not about only the hunger of the stomach. Everything about Nigeria is hungry. The health sector is hungry.
Every sector is.
In fact, the hungry of material and human resources. Mostly about human resources. And Josh was reading that when he's coming about that headline, how much we have lost. So if you were the other day we brought a brain surgery, a
neurologist.
And it was, before then we talk about the cardiovascular. We were saying we have only 80
cardiologists in the entire country.
Now, I don't know how many brain.
The gap is even wider with brain.
When you
doctors.
Want to do one operation and power fails 15 times, you get frustrated and you sell the hospital and everything and japa.
We don't even understand even the enormity of the fact that there's power outage. While number one, you're not supposed to sweat. Because if you sweat and the sweat drops into the patient, is an issue, you know. And maybe he's in the middle of trying to knot something and the light goes off. You know, there's a lot, you know, when you begin to break down.
You know what? If you begin to drive it home, people will begin to cry.
It will give you goosebumps, really.
People will begin to cry.
And we are grateful
it's
the
like
guys survived it.
We are agent of discouraging people. No, Nigeria will get better. 15 power outage in one major operations it can even be worse. But thank God the patient didn't die. But then most patients have died that way. And then that's why we are more religious. When the operation is going on, you have prayer warriors outside. Some people will be praying. Everything that will make power to fail in the hospital, die by fire. If they make mistake and they miss their language, the person who is lying down for operations will die.
All right, so Libya begins mass arrest of Nigerians after CAP verdicts.
I remember I was on this list. I said I want that Nigerian government should be very, very diplomatic in where they handle. I remember I said it here. That since the last 6 years, with IOM, that's United Nations International Organization for Migration, with all the organizations involved in profiling and receiving Nigerians who are deported from Libya, the ones who are lucky to be deported through IOM, who have declared interest, because some people cannot be seen. They are locked up somewhere as slaves, working for some non-government actors in Libya who are surrounded where they stay with a lot of AK-47. They bring you out. If it's for harlotry, you go and do harlotry, bring back the money to them. If it's a labor, you put you in the field, you labor. When you die, you are buried as far as you're Nigerian. And I said, for the last 5 years, Nigeria have taken batches, nothing less than 3 million Nigerians have been deported from Libya. And more in Libya. So I said, when they're handling this issue between us and their football team, they should remember that we have a lot of Nigerians still there. And exactly today, this thing I said happened. Now, Nigerians in Libya are being arrested.
Mass
and
arrest.
They're forcing them to generate the
$50,000.
When they collect
they said we will pay, coming from the president, the Nigerian community presidents there, that they said the Nigerians will pay the $50,000.
Of course, that's what they're telling them.
So if they arrest you, you probably bring $1,000.
By the time they arrest you, and you might be arrested twice.
Yes, so you can pay like $2,000.
So it depends on how many times. If you arrest 10 times, you pay $10,000, and the money is, it's $1,000.
What are Africans doing to Africans, really?
Do we still have Organization of African Unity? They say it's the African Union. When it was called Organization of African Unity, OAU. There's some things that were in the name that makes some sense to us when we are growing up. Organization of African Unity. Now, what is AU?
African Union.
You want to sound like
European Union.
Then the unity was dropped, directly or indirectly, and this is where we are. Find that people in South Africa who have xenophobia, where Nigerians are killed, they want them to leave their space.
Even in Ghana.
In Ghana already, and some other places, Nigerians are being eyed as. If they tell you the experience of Nigerians who are locked up in Ghana prisons, if you read some unconfirmed stories about what is happening, you now know that Nigeria is on its own. I don't know.
But did we do this to ourselves?
Well, the people are the diplomatic.
Are there foreign actors that are doing these things to us?
At the diplomatic level, we have people who are working in the Ministry of External Affairs, Foreign Affairs, which will now have Bianca as a state Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. And we have the substantial Minister for Foreign Affairs, and it's one of the biggest ministry in Abuja. This is where it comes to mind and say, what are they doing? We have also the Commission for Diaspora, headed by somebody from our constituency who is a journalist, a renowned broadcaster journalist, Abike Dabiri. And she has seemed to have been forgotten on that seat for a long time. So it's like they settled her with that position. What is she doing?
What has been our impact?
These are the point we begin to know. We need to be knowing that Nigerians, because of our population in Africa, when you count anywhere you go, you count 10 black Africans, you are probably counting about 3 Nigerians among them. If we know about this fact, we should be able to think of ourselves as more in number in Africa, and then begin to, if we suffer racism in Europe and America, we come to an African country and suffer xenophobia and all this. If we don't do anything, we'll be extinct.
Do you think that there could be some Pan-African activities that could actually foster this unity, aside for our football, which has
even the football
cost,
has cost an issue now.
So you wonder what's the way forward? Can't
Way
there
forward,
be a
there
similar?
used to be a time Nigeria where some of these African countries were poorer because of how we control our oil money. We are big brother in Africa, and we are like carrying them along. Now the center cannot hold, and the mere anarchy has broken loose upon the earth. And that what it means is that Nigerians suffer over time. When you are doing big brother, people love you because you are, but when you are no more bringing, it's like the hatred sets in, which happens even in your family.
Definitely.
When you keep to give people money. Anytime you say, I don't have money again.
You are the evil one.
So in a nutshell, we kind of did this to ourselves.
We started by showing to the world and the people around us, the fellow Africans,
Basically, this is
and they hate our gods.
It's envy.
They hate
And for the fact that they see the way we
envy.
treat our own citizens as well.
Most of the Africans hate the God of Nigerians because they are proud and resilient people. Anywhere you see them, you see that.
But when we see things that we wished we had in other people, shouldn't the reaction or shouldn't the attitude be, okay, let me get close to this person so I can learn of you, rather than throwing darts at you? Yeah, I mean, I wonder where it's going to lead us to as a people and as a nation, but
okay.
We are hopeful.
Sunday Tribune, above the mast, we have Nigerian professors poorest paid in the world, and about just $300.
Why are they being selective about Nigerian professors?
But Nigerian professors are poorest paid.
It is true, but
Well,
every
if you
profession
know,
is.
let's look at it. Let's
is
look at
paid
it. But they're starting
lower
with
compared
the highest level of academic
Yes.
excellence or achievement you can
So
achieve.
it's justifiable.
Now, when you say it's not justifiable, when I'm saying that to pick that the peak of your highest academic qualified personnel are poorest paid, it now shows that the education is not valuable.
Yeah, it even goes further to say that other
Do you
categories
know
of
how
lecturers
much a
earn
counselor at the local government level earns?
Counselor.
A counselor.
And that you just
some of
use
them-
your SSC.
Now, but these are the people you
That's
expect.
the highest qualification for counselorship.
But
Yeah?
somebody who is a professor, you know what it means? That has gotten to that peak and he can barely survive. And you are encouraging him to go, you're expecting him to go and do research and development to add to the body of academics, to enlarge it so that it will increase and bring his knowledge and teach students and step down knowledge. Can somebody lie comfortably in a bed and sleep with a dead woman? That's almost what the federal government did with the small boys in treason charge. They are doing that with Nigerian professors. In Nigeria, a footballer earns in pounds and dollars, even at local levels.
Yes.
In Nigeria, there has not been any academic thing to encourage professors, but you have Big Brother Africa, where
People go around naked and they get
being
endorsements.
how naked and how raw you can be can earn you $100,000.
And endorsements.
And this SUV, an endorsement and overtime. In Nigeria, that's where professors come out, they are pushed aside, but politicians, thugs, by being SA or SSSSA or whatever, a driver in government house or anything, you earn more than a professor. And these are the people, you come and tell them their reward is heaven. And they have children. Now, the only thing they've done for professors is to, when they feel that these people are so reserved, Nigerian politicians drag them into
electoral electoral processes.
And then paint them bad. Even when people are talking about the poorest paid for them, they cannot come now and face Nigerian because when they finish, they say, you deliver the government. Yeah, professors deliver all the governors now. When they finish all those mess, they will bring the professors to declare results. They will bring professors to become
and hand over the results for them to
and then sit down, and
to
that's
announce.
the end. So, what are you talking about?
Well, Chris.
Lokobri said FG were deploying drones to tackle oil theft.
Well,
there was this
very quickly in 2 minutes.
That video I saw.
A
drone came. Yeah. It was like a man was walking in the streets. Then a drone came, and that drone was armed with AK-47 and it has audio. He stopped. He said, "Hey, drop your wallet. Bring your wallet. Put your wallet here. Carry wallet. Put in the drone." He said, "Hey, move and don't turn back. Move." Then the drone instead shot some shot of AK-47 around the man. The man took off and the drone went away. Is it the kind of drone?
Well, we're praying that it's not that type.
I don't know what kind of drone they want.
Thank you very much,
yourself,
Chris.
Does the federal government and all the people working for them, do they really want oil theft
to stop?
To be stopped.
That's a huge question.
Statement.
That's a huge
Chris,
question.
thank you once more
Thank
for
you
coming
so
into the
much.
studio with us this morning. We hope you enjoy the rest of your week.
And you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the much we can take on the newspaper headlines and review. We'll go to another discussion right away. We want you to stay tuned. Don't forget to go to all of our social media platforms. Go like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button. We'll see you after this. This is still New Day on Signature TV. We'll have a report we're going to be playing for you.
That's right. Joshua, it's called Nkata Umwebe. It's actually a monthly distinguished speaker series organized by Center for Memories, ENUGU here, and they had their last edition on Friday, the 1st of November 2024, captioned Ncheta Bu Oganiru, meaning, in plain terms, to remember means progress, probably having to do with remembrance of your history, where you're coming from, and the things that you passed through. So we're going to be playing the clip of that conversation. Do take a listen.
You guys saw all the addresses. We came here to come and extract and rob these people. Why are you studying it? We go rapid fire. So nothing was done for quite a few years until 1926. Amory Talbot's Peoples of Southern Nigeria was published. And of course, the very famous GT Baston among the Igbos, which provided a bit of an insight. But then all of these works had one flaw. They were written by 4 outsiders who had a very subjective view of who we were. And not just that they had a subjective view, and a very cynical subjective view. And the language, you cannot come to the land, spend even 10 years and taking to understand. The Igbos are heterogeneous in our culturally heterogeneous by nature. As I was talking to the children earlier today, we make the mistake of sometimes saying, all this is an Igbo. Hold on, sir. Where an Igbo? Where is this done? Cultures can vary across an area. We have to do difference of Ojoto and Igbo is achieved. Now, the Ezo title, or Igbo title as it became later, was brought in by Igbo achieved settlers who came just after the Ojoto settlers down the road where I'm from. But then eventually both cultures were less. But then they still maintain differences in approaches to cultural issues, even in that small tiny space and abobos. So you should understand, I think it is important for us as scholars of Igbo land to understand the heterogeneity of Igbo society. It is not a disadvantage. It is a very rich advantage because, as one of my young friends used to say, Igbo Millennium, our culture is deep. But then we have to understand the nuances and respect them. Like I was having a conversation with some young, vibrant, my brothers. And I was saying, in that case, since Ogosi has it and you're not Igbos, I said, oh, okay, I forget that you are now the clearinghouse of who is Igbo and who is not. I said, okay, cool down. Calm down. You see, dealing with histories, you do not approach history, cultural history, with grammar. The best, that's why you just said, when I study this thing, they come with a childlike curiosity and they listen. They take notes carefully. That's why it's important for us to be nuanced and be very careful how we approach issues or studies without disrespecting our own people, their own indigenous peoples and their various mixes of diversity. All the local part. Please, you cannot impose Navy culture on Oba or vice versa. You can't. Rather, you should understand how they are different and approach those differences accordingly and respectfully. But I digress. Now, my mentor, my father in this job, one of the greatest Igbo men, the great Professor Adela Igbo, who is my hero, and he was part of the Ibadan school, which was a reaction to the colonialist history. The Ibadan school was more nationalist. He said, no, we want to tell our story by ourselves. He was the first to obtain a PhD, an indigenous PhD in history. And his book, Rose of Sand, I'm sure many of you have read it, but please go back and read it. That's one of the most comprehensive, detailed, nuanced, and intelligent works of Igbo history. And why is it distinct? Because he acknowledges diversity, but then applies scientific approaches to his analysis and indeed his detailing. Please, if you can. Now, I mentioned his name because the anthropology and historiography of Central South Nigeria before it since Goku were colored by the motivations of the author's principles and in turn influenced the broad historiography of of the ensuing period. So that's exactly what I'm saying. They were simply PR experts for the colonial governments. So, whilst there were numbers of information, we have to understand that those do not really represent the histories. And he described the studies as displaying the idiosyncratic waywardness of colonial anthropology, characterized by lack of focus, method, intensity, or concept. They looked at political systems because that was how they could manipulate. When you manipulate the political system, what do? You can manipulate the economic systems. Simple. They weren't interested in our cultural nuances. They weren't. The person that went deep was not Thomas. As soon as Lugard saw him, Lugard actually you know. So he described it as high-noon anthropological approach, which resulted in the emphasis on centralized political authority as being the ideal or apex model of political structure, influencing writers like Henderson, Owen, Yogo, and Smiro. Now, why do I say this? Because that high-noon anthropological structure, look, that there's an hierarchy of societies in terms of value, quality, and standing. That those that had kings were the more advanced societies. And those that had more decentralized systems, a king and a cabinet, were on another level. And those that had no kings, no discernible sovereign authority, but more like republican structures, were savages at the bottom of the ladder. That's what they said about us. Because most of the land, honestly, is republican. Of course, we had bastions of monarchies. It was a theocracy. Western Igbo has lots of monarchies. But then, Oguta also had a monarchy. But then, the vast majority of Igbo land before the colonials did not have monarchies. And this was perfectly fair. Because the Igbos always fashioned out functional models for their governance that suited them, suited their communities, suited their environment.
It looks like there was a song by an artist. It says that the monsters were made. It looks like something woke up in the Igbo that wasn't dominantly part of their lives. And people wanted to survive. They stopped paying attention to how to do it in a way that will also give you something to tell. Going back to our topic. So, in shaping our history as Igbo, do you think that the Civil War was a major distorting factor in that trajectory?
Thank you very much. I actually answered this question with the children earlier. It was. I think somebody asked me, what are the main events that influenced the course of Igbo history? See, before the Civil War, there's lots of flashpoints. You know, the destruction of Arochukwu by the colonials. Colonel Banjo, or Brigadier Banjo, was our neighbor, top floor, and you were on the second floor. Right? When we ran from ENUGU, of course, we abandoned the frontier. For many years, I would ask my father, Daddy, we don't go carry a motor, or see which motor, I don't want to touch it, I don't want to see it. He didn't want to touch it because it had been commandeered by one soldier. So it's like, I don't even want to look at the car. I've left people at Asaba. A young man his father's house was trashed during the massacre. I asked him, can this fallow land in Asaba? He said, no, I will never build on this thing. I will never build on this place. I was like, okay, Ross, this is millions of naira. The reality is that, as I said, lots of people die. Many people, every weekend I hear Japanese. Every weekend I hear Japanese. People who did not die during the war, but the traumatic effect of the war killed them slowly afterwards. And let's talk about lack of economic power. Look, we have the 20 pounds issue rehearsal at Bosnia. I don't want to go into it again. But it had an impact. And there's a lot of nuance to it. These are people who, there's Okafor lines. You might have heard of Okafor lines, Okafor shipping line, before the war. The first shipping line owned by an individual, a private Igbo businessman. Okafor came out of the war with only the clothes on his back. By the time he came back, everything was gone. So we're talking about a loss of economic power, psychological trauma, a loss of memories, and also a loss of the sense of self. Because when I talked about how we were being treated in Lagos after the war, I was just making a joke. I also making a joke. My mother is very, I keep talking about my mother because my father is more diplomatic. My mother is a typical Igbo woman. She fears nobody. She fears no man in this world. But I know that those things, how she was, my mother would come back home from work with a nurse, sometimes in tears, but how she was treated by other people. And some people would keep quiet and take the abuse, my mother would not. But I can remember a story. She expected somebody who allegedly had, last month was in charge of the post. So somebody said, Nico, can you take me to him? Can you hire my shipper with him? She said, okay, well, he comes to the hospital. He went there. I was drunk as usual, screaming at my mother. My mother started screaming back at him. All the money was the wife. I had to carry my mother and say, this man is mad though. So that's the kind of woman she was. But the impact of the war drained this woman of her soul. So if you talk about a singular event, economically, sociologically, psychologically, the impact was one of the worst possible for people.
All right, thank you so much. You know, this is a very touching part of our history as Indigo, and if you throw your mind back, that's possibly the reason why we still sit at home in the southeast every Monday. Because if there was no civil war, we wouldn't be having to sit at home. I mean, some people here think that we're better off on our own, and some other people think we have more interests in the larger country than trying to, dehinge ourselves from the larger federation. But then there are people who are in this space who don't know what prompted the war. And then the kind of scar people were carrying. And you told a story about even to your mother's dying day, that she still felt the pain of the Civil War, how she was tending to wounded soldiers and other people who were wounded during the war. Do you think that that scar will ever heal? I'm not talking about the wound. The scar, can we ever really move beyond the point where we're always referencing the war, and it's the reason why we cannot look ahead?
Thank you so much for that question, because it's important. In all the rush to finish my presentation, that was my landing point. Because I alluded to the beginning. The reality is that I am done waiting for anybody. I can speak only for myself, I can't speak for any other person. I am done as an Igbo man waiting for anyone to apologize to me. I am done with that. Now, can we heal? We have to make that conscious, intentional effort to say, you know what, we're going to write about this. I'm no longer looking left, I'm no longer looking right. I know it's not easy. Come on, man, I cannot tell anybody how to breathe or more. People, I can't do that, I have no right to do that. But for me, it's about looking forward. Harnessing our strengths as a community. Because people talk about marginalization. What do you do when you feel you're marginalized? You come together. Organize. Organize. That's what the blacks in America did. It's in the civil rights era. Organize yourselves. As for sit at home, I get abused for it, let it be. I think it's one of the most destructive things that has happened to us in Igbo land. I am not happy about the detention of Mazen Kano. I feel there should be a better way around it. But I certainly don't think that to sit at home, it's just hasn't been effective in how many years. Let me be honest, the people is being directed at, they don't care. They really don't care. In fact, the more damage that is inflicted, they're like, good for you. Do it to yourself. So I don't think so. The only thing I can appeal to is if there's any way that this matter can be resolved peacefully. The young man spent several years in prison. Well, starts his sentence, easy. Let us hope that he should remove the plan under which this, I'm sorry to say, destructive episode in our history will be perpetrated. Maybe that can be the start. So I appeal that whoever can, I'm not, I have my own views about, I thought Biafra was the quest to defend ourselves was important. My father fought on the Biafra side. And he has no regrets about it, even though he regrets about the war. And I felt that, look, we needed somebody to support us, to stand for us. But there was a time when the wars were ended. That's a separate thing.
Who tell you, because we're from Abakiji, I can't take you in as a tenant. So on that concern, I am asking what is the best way out of it? Because we can't keep saying we are united as a people and then marginalize some part of it. I don't feel there's any evil person that is greater than the other if we are being fair in the first place. Then secondly, I'm also asking in the aspect of preserving our cultural practices as people. I lost my grandmother in 2019, and there's this particular cultural practice that my own mother is not even aware of. She actually told me in 2018, we call it ENUGU, ENUGU. It's a day we set aside to celebrate the leg, because we believe that whatever the mouth feasts on, the leg is what makes you get it in the first place. And because, trying to balance the equation between Christianity and practicing the culture that makes us who we are, we sometimes abolish some of these cultural practices because we feel it's unholy, it's not pure, we don't want to be seen as pagan. And then these people are dying. Does it mean as they die, they are dying with these cultural practices that represent who we are? So the question is, how do we preserve it and also balancing the equation in getting unity amongst ourselves as people? Thank you very much.
Being our first engagement, speaking from the community of persons with disabilities, while the lecture was going on, I was, imagining and thinking a whole lot, rising from the community I represent, where I know I have met a few who will always tell me I was a soldier during the Biafra War. My leg was cut off, or I had so injury that rendered me today being a disabled person. And being that I am here today in this meeting, I am beginning to ask myself, and I wish to also throw the question out. It may not be under the powers of Center for Memories to do a whole lot to what is bothering us out there in society, but I know that you may have the contacts, the communication know-how of getting reach to those in power within the East. What has it been so far from that time to date? The fate of those individuals that have fought for this land, and today some are late, while some are still there in disability, with nobody asking about them. Is there any program, is there anything for people like this in our society today? That is question number one. And then number two, I want to say that history, recently we are told of how government and the center tried to remove it from the curriculum and all that. But as we are listening to this lecture today, I was also asking myself that history, the education is in a concurrent list, if I am right. And if that is the case, why is it that the government of the states and down to the local are not integrating part of this into our own curriculum? For us to also begin to do a little, we should not continue to blame the center and perpetually remain on the blame game. I think the damage is done. What is the way out? Thank you.
If you want to do something very, very sacrifice, you will do it. You don't have to wait for it to be perfect. Because, let me tell you, apart from what I did with the Center for Memories, when they made some contributions, basically all my things are paid from my own pocket. In fact, that's what pension will be because it has to be told. And my guy is wrong. And my guy needs to. That's my legacy. That's the point. So I'm not in a better position than you to sit down with someone with your camera footage and we call one person. If the person God forbid goes, and that's the only account in the world, that person talking about the revenues of the information, you are coming gold. So why must you wait for students? Please get it one way. Everyone get it one way. Please. Now, support for the disabled. Now, even going back into our culture, right? There has always been, even traditional Igbo society, there has always been a safety net for those who have disabilities. The society has always provided for them, like traditional society. Because whilst we abhor laziness, we abhor lack of effort,
suffer disabilities. This very topic raised was what I wanted to talk about before I draw the question. I told him I need to talk immediately. Now, that documentary that you saw of me and what people that happened here in Enugu, where almost everybody above 40 now they blind. Enugu State here. This is the same place I go cases of Washioko and cholera down here in Enugu. Now, when that documentary went out, a case is from Anambra. I'm from Anambra. I've been helping that community with my foundation for the past 5 years before that documentary came out. And he saw that documentary. The first thing he did was to organize that marathon and raise money. His friends donated for that very cause. In fact, those money that were sent that period was used to do a medical program for that community, providing drugs for almost all the blind people in that community. Now, after that documentary went so far worldwide that I'm not an Igbo, not everywhere in the whole world, because I got calls from almost all the countries in this whole world. Now, they come from some of those countries. The first question will be, now, I see have the Enugu State. They say, yes, they have the Enugu State. I can take you there. It's opposite Caritas University. And some people tell me that, no, if you are never have the Enugu State. Now, some people will call me, and I will tell them that the inhabitants of that place were mostly people from Ebonyi State. And that's where they will run out.
And then marginalization. And I think that we should really look at things on the aspect of justice and organization. Because if there is really justice and then we people get to organize ourselves, then all these things that we're talking about, even those that suffered in the war and the rest of things will not be occurring. That was just my comment on it.
Ndị ike na-enwe ndị udo, na-enwe ndị amamife, na-enwe ndị okwu uche, na-enwe ndị aghụghọ, na-enwe ndị akpaobi. Ejide onye Igbo na mba ndị akpaobi ejeretakwa ya ka ndị Igbo si na-eji egbe mgba ọdị na nke mgba adịrọ natakwa ndị ọgụ mmadụ. Ihe niile anyị na-ekwu ebe a nna ọgọ nwoke nke azụ ọgọ m obodo ụbọchị ụkpara obodo flọgụ ju mmiri ị na-ekwu onye metara m n'ahụ ọfụma ahụta m ihe ahụ eti anya ichila ihe na-ewute mbụ maka ụmụazị ndị a na-achọ ịhụ n'ọkụ wee jee were fuel wee wụọ ahụ obodo na-efu mfu amụ ahụ ha na-efugo otu. It's a calculated attempt to divide Igbos, and it was well articulated and implemented. I want to leave out on the hand and make here 250.
Data that they apply in their businesses. All right, so that is the point I'm making. And obviously we're going to more esoteric questions like memory of trauma towards resolution of trauma, because if you don't understand the whole universe or the data universe of events leading to your trauma, how then can you address it? You have to know a problem, understand the problem before you find a solution. So that is the whole point about Ncheta Boganiru. It's actually a very multifaceted, disciplinary, multidisciplinary subject in a sense. Thank you.
welcome back. Well, our correspondent in Abuja, Godwin Sunday, is standing by to bring us reports from Abuja Rebound. Please take a listen.
A very good morning and welcome to the Rebound for the week. My name is Godwin Sunday. On Monday, the week began with Northerners calling on the president to please save their business. Take a listen.
It is a reflection of a failed government, because in a civilized climate, it is unheard of, despite what we are producing in the country, that today we are experiencing total blackout in the northern part of the country. But I believe with time it may extend to other parts of the country. So the government is not actually doing well. That is my own personal opinion. Because what effort are they doing? What led to it? It is not even made known to the public. Because sometimes they will just allow certain things to go bad, believing that the citizens